Hey guys, so we have a battle here between my two favorite phones with the Sony Xperia 5 Mark II and the 1 Mark II. So let's see which is my favorite. Now both these phones have very similar specs, but there will be some big differences during the tests, and I'll explain why in a second. But one test where there's not going to be a difference is the boot up. So yeah, maybe the 1-2 by a millisecond or two. Alright guys, now for the specs. The 1 Mark II has a larger screen at a higher resolution, but the 5 Mark II has a faster refresh rate. Both phones have one camera on the front, and on the back you have 3 cameras versus 4, with the 4th being used for depth. Both phones support micro SD. Both phones have the same size battery, despite the 5 Mark II being smaller. They also have the same chipset and RAM. Both phones are water resistant. Now at the bottom, both phones are Type-C. The 5 Mark II has a button for Google Assistant. And at the top, both phones have headphone jacks. The 1 Mark II is wireless charging, and both are glass. Both phones support 5G in some regions, and the 5 Mark II is less expensive. Alright guys, let's get to it. Alright guys, getting to it. So first you have Reddit. Five2. Spotify. Very similar. eBay. YouTube. Slight advantage for the 5.2. So yeah, I mean, slight advantage here for the 5.2. Now, keep in mind guys, it has less to load up, so less pixels. But obviously very, very similar. That one is the 1.2. Amazon shopping. Amazon, very similar. And last basic app, we have photos. Alright, so now for gaming. Now for PUBG. This is going to be very similar. Yeah, very close. Temp Run. Slight advance for the 5.2. PVZ. Narrow bands for the 5.2. Real racing. Narrow advantage for the 1.2. So yeah, so far gaming pretty split. And now for Fortnite. Alright guys, so very, very similar. Now, that's the takeaway here for the apps and the games. For Geekbench, we'll run this in a few. Alright, so now for Chrome. And let's just square the web history. Alright, so first up, IGN.com, Slight Advantage for the 1-2, IMDb.com, 1-2, Sony.com, very, very similar, Nintendo.com, yeah, so again guys, very, very similar. Underwater, no copyrights, blah, 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 blah. No copyright music. Alright, guess that worked out. Now both phones have dual speakers. So first you have the 5.2. One, two. And back to 5.2. And last time here. Alright guys, so both excellent quality, and I think they sound pretty similar, but let me know in the comments below if you have a preference. Alright, so now for the fingerprints. So both are on the side right here, and they also double as the power. Very similar. Also, I really like how the fingerprint is combined with the power. So last year for the Xperia 1 and the regular Xperia 5, they were separate. So this is the fingerprint and this is the power. Now I do have a full comparison for them on the channel, the one versus the one Mark II. But yeah, much better setup. Alright, so now for battery. Now I'm going to make this more in depth. So for the 5 Mark II, for now we have the high refresh rate turned off. And we're going to watch a video in 1080p mode. Alright guys, so again, both 60 Hz and 1080p. So let's check back in a few. 1 hour in now. Both at 94%. So let's do the pinch to zoom. And we'll check back in an hour. Okay, so another hour in. Yeah, the answer for the 5 Mark II. Okay, so I'm going to turn back on the high refresh rate. And we're going to record some videos in 4K. Alright, so 45 minutes in. Nice job here for the 5-2. Next I'm going to play the video. "45 minutes in." So again guys, gap is beginning to get larger. Next to do some gaming. I'll check back in about an hour. Alright, so 1 more hour in. And one more test. We'll just bring up Amazon. 1.5 hours later. So, of course, still advantage for the 5 Mark II. And let's go into the settings next. Alright, so this is about 1.5 hours in. And the 1 Mark II is down. While the 5 Mark II still has a solid amount left. I've been extremely impressed with the battery for the 5 Mark II. Alright, so now for RAM. So back to the start of Reddit. Excellent. Spotify. Perfect. eBay. Perfect for YouTube. Alright, so let's try for some of the gaming. Now, this of course is a lot more important. Now guys, I have noticed that the 1 Mark II is a bit quicker with the with RAM. Not a huge difference, but like a fraction of a second. And you guys saw right there. Real racing. So again guys, a tiny bit quicker for the 1 Mark II, but very similar. Photos. And actually guys, let's just let's bring up the cameras just to make it a bit tougher. So back to the start of Instagram. Yeah, so that causes a restart. Now, if we don't go as far back, just for example for Chrome, so no restart. But if we go back to the very beginning, so let's do Amazon shopping. Yeah, so restart here. I mean, it would be nice for the next Sony to get like 10 to 12 gigabytes, but for the most part, it's still very, very good. Alright, so now for Geekbench. Alright, so very similar, but a slight advantage for the 5 Mark II. Now for camera speed. Yeah, so very similar. Now for the front cameras, which are only Full HD 30 FPS. And the stabilization. So yeah, I would like to see more modes in the future for it. Would be nice to have 4K or 60. Now for the rear cameras. And this is at 60 FPS mode. And the stabilization. Now for the wide angle, which is also at 60 FPS. For a lot of phones like the Samsungs, you can't record at 60 for the wide angle. We also have the maximum zoom using a telephoto, and once again, Full HD 60 FPS. Alright guys, so again, both excellent phones. Now, I would recommend the 5.2 over the 1.2, unless you really want the 4K display. But again guys, you can't go wrong either way. But hey guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more. And I'll see you next video.